thank you so very much. And thank you for coming to see our show today. This, of course, is going to have a lot of meaning to us. This is 4th of July weekend. The first thing I want to do is address, if we have any veterans in our audience, we'd like to applaud for you. So stand up. Anybody served the military, please stand. Let's give our veterans a nice big hand today. Thank you. God bless all of you. And thank you. Thank you for coming here to SeaWorld and joining us for our shows here. We were last night as well. And had a little rain last night, but today's a beautiful day outside. Perfect day for everybody to come to the park. And I hope you've enjoyed yourself so far. Our country music started in 1979 in Nashville, Tennessee. I am not from Nashville. I am from the South. I'm from Southern California. Well, it was South to me at the time. But I moved to Nashville, and I started my career there, and I joined the label with Reba McEntire, George Strait, the Oak Ridge Boys, and Barbara Mandrell. We all had different kind of careers. We toured very heavily for the first 5 years in order to win our fan base. And currently, then figuratively speaking, we had millions of fans that would come to see our show all the time. And if you've seen my show many times in the past, I want to thank you, first of all, for being a fan, supporting our music in live concerts, and also for buying our music, first of all, the tapes, then albums, then tapes, then CDs, and now we're the internet. So if you've done some of that lately, I thank you very much. We've had a lot of music, been very on the top of the charts. This next one is no exception. It was number 2 when it was first released at MCA. Here is Ring on Her Finger, Time on Her Hands, from Marion Kennedy, Cam Rose, and Don Goodman. In her important to me. You probably don't know their names. The two girls were actually called the Cherry Sisters, and they sang on all of my first 10 or 15 records. The writer Don been responsible for many hits, not just by Ken Chesney, Brad Paisley, but many others. The same afternoon they wrote that song, they wrote this next one. And 2 years later, it was the most played song in all of country music in the entire world. I would pick wigs and do the rhythm of that front porch line. One night while the spotlight like a shell, I found little notes on this old guitar. She believed I could be a star. She told me that she wanted to be fair, and she said, "Well, love will hold you down. Boy, you glory down. We can't share a world of different dreams." So I chased mine, and she found hers too. Someone else made hers come true. I'm a star every time I sing. My heart goes drifting down a dusty Dixie road, taking my mind back in time. The lights burn like hell. I want you to know you left heaven waiting down the Dixie road. Every night I'm in a different place, searching every stranger's face, trying to find a girl who's just not there. She's back there in Montgomery, and I'm clear across the country. But whenever I'm alone, I go back there. My heart goes drifting down the dusty Dixie road, taking my mind back in time. The lights burn like hell. I want you to know you left heaven waiting down the Dixie road. Wait for me, man. Everybody clap your hands. Come on. Guitar player on my hand from Cincinnati, Matt Bassford. Cincinnati, Ohio. It's interesting that as your career starts, I don't care who you are, it's Keith Urban, Carrie Underwood, it's an overwhelming adoration. You have to kind of get used to it after a while. That's why I was taking some quick pictures right before the show. I went ahead and told my social media people that I'm going to send it to them. And so y'all, if you take a picture during the show, go to Twitter at Greenwood or Facebook and just post a picture. That's really cool. And then you'll be in the picture because I'm going to send this to you of all the people that's on stage. So you kind of get figuring that everybody's going to be knowing you and your faces in the paper, and you have all kinds of press relating to most of your shows. And then after about 10 or 15 years, some newcomers come along, Luke Bryan and a few others, Lake Shelton, and then people aren't necessarily clamoring for your autograph like they were the first 10 or 15 years. And I started touring in 1980, so you can see it's been a lot of years. So occasionally, of course, we live in a suburb of Nashville, Tennessee, where there's an awful lot of performers. So it's not surprising you're going to see somebody just hanging out. Now, I always frequent Publix. You know what Publix is? A grocery market. If I go out west, people don't know what Publix is, but anyway, out here, you all know what it is. When I'm going to go to the store, I have a list, and I always bring the list with me because my wife gives me the right things to buy, and if I can't find it or I come home without it, I got to go back. So I always have the list. So I got the groceries this one day, and I'm heading up to the checkout counter, and they got that little belt and put the stuff on, you know, and it moves stuff towards the cash register. And I noticed there's a couple down at the end of the row, and this lady getting ready to swipe her credit card. And I can tell when she looked at me, she recognized me, you know, and she elbowed her husband like that, and he looks over and got that nod of approval. Yeah, it is, you know. And so as they're getting ready to leave and they get their stuff in the bags, they're getting ready, but she can't help herself. And she reaches over and grabs the clerk, who's about 32 years old, and she says, "Do you know who that is?" And she says, "I have no clue." She said, "Well, that's Ray Stevens." "Hello, ma'am. Nice to talk to you. I'll do the street and get out of here." Sing this girl song, whatever. Okay, so I owe him an autograph. That's fine. He owes me an autograph. I actually signed Ray Stevens. She thought I was. My career started in California when I was about 8 or 9 years old, playing first in the First Baptist Church, singing with the choir, and then eventually playing nightclubs before I was even 16 years old. And my mother was a piano player, played mandolin, sang with a rooster on her shoulder in high school. We were very country, by the way. And by the way, I looked up that Crest Theater where she actually sang. We're going to go back to Sacramento, California, where I was raised on a farm, and we're going to play that Crest Theater. It'd be kind of nice to go back there. Where my mother played in the 1940s when women were not allowed to play in bands in the 40s, in nightclubs, okay? And so she would wear a man's suit, put a hat on, because she was such a good player, they really had to have her, and there wasn't anybody else. And so it was kind of, we're good for everybody. And of course, rules are good, but rules are good to be broken, too. And so I became the recipient of that talent, and I began playing piano at an early age. So I'm going to play this next song here at the piano, and sing it for you. And I will just tell you that this is the song I'm going to sing and play for you that was written by Dave Loggins from East Tennessee. He's actually from Bristol. And yeah, you're from Tennessee? All right, cool. I should tell you that I'm going to sing the Battle of Bristol. That's the University of Tennessee playing Virginia Tech in the Bristol racetrack. September 10th. It'll be televised, so watch that. That's going to be kind of fun.
That'll be awesome.
Private Southland Band. I regress. Okay, so this song from Dave Loggins is the song that drew me to Nashville, Tennessee. Please come to Boston for the springtime. I'm staying here with some friends and they got lots of room. You could sell your paintings on the sidewalk, buy a cafe where I hope to be working soon. Please come to Boston, she said no. Will you come home to me? And she said, hey rambling boy, why don't you settle down? Boston ain't your kind of town. There ain't no gold and there ain't nobody like me. I'm the #1 fiddleman from Tennessee. Please come to Denver for the snowfall.
Really?
Look to the mountains so far they can't be found. And through I love you echoes down canyons. And I go away at night till they come back around. Please come to Denver, oh, she said no. Will you come home with me? forever. Been in California too long, it's too hard to leave. In the house, looked out over the ocean. There's some stars that fell from the sky, living up on the hill. Please come to LA, she just said no. Will you come home with me? She said, they ran the door, why don't you settle down? LA is your kind of town. There ain't nobody like me. I'm the number one fan of a man from Tennessee. Smoky Mountain rain, keep falling. I'm the number one fan of the man from Thank you very much, thank you. And I want to thank Dave Loggins for that song, and of course, a great artist himself. And as I tour, I've never recorded that song. It seems to be a favorite of the public, so I just keep singing it in my show. It reminds me of how I got started. And all these guys got started the same way. So let me have a nice hand for my musicians, okay? Jeff Carter from Greenwood, Kentucky on keyboard. Jeff Stone on guitar from Virginia. On the drums, Andy Hull from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Our bass player, Paul Arch from Michigan. And last but not least, again, you already met him, Matt Massford from Cincinnati, Ohio. Don't want to forget my technicians down here. You all can see him. Just wait. No, not him. You. Wait at the audience. Come on, wait. Wait at the audience, Mike. From Cincinnati, Ohio. Been with me 30 years. My tech. They've all lived with our music as we release songs one right after another, and they went to the top of the charts, and we started touring like crazy people. For the first 5 years, it was 300 days a year on the road. It gave us an example of what the culture was like, the entire country, because I hadn't traveled before that. Oh, California, Nevada, that was it. I guess Nevada kind of was like a bubble, because I lived in Las Vegas. I opened for Elvis Presley at the Flamingo, and there was all kinds of people there who are recognized as stars of my time. And then when I got my chance and we started touring, I actually recognized that we're a lot more alike than we are different. From New York to Texas, from Minneapolis to Miami. And there's some differences, however, in how people react to songs you release, particularly when you call it country music, because it's very different. Whether it's Kenny Rogers, Kenny Chesney, maybe Dave Loggins, or of course, Luke Bryan, one of our new stars, who we really like. So as I released the song, I would kind of take a temperature of the audience and see, do they know this one, do they like this one? And sometimes they did, sometimes they didn't. So it's kind of a guessing game. And we guessed right many times. We had 17 #1 songs and 32 on the charts from the top 10. But when I released this next song I will sing for you, it became apparent this was different than the rest. In such a way that not only was it just appealing to the American audience, but it became an American anthem. And I know you're waiting for me to sing it, so I'm going to sing it for you. Here is America's favorite song from Greenwood. McDonald's and you